Subrata Roy, a name synonymous with ambition, intrigue, and ultimately, downfall. His journey began in the humble bylanes of Araria, Bihar, far removed from the dazzling heights he would later reach. Driven by an insatiable desire for success, Roy embarked on a path that would lead him to become the enigmatic figure behind the Sahara-India para-war. It was 1978. India was still finding its feet after the emergency. Roy, a young man with a vision, started a chit fund with a handful of members. His charisma and persuasive skills, combined with the promise of lucrative returns, attracted a growing number of investors. The enterprise, initially named Sahara Society, soon blossomed into a financial behemoth, spreading its wings across the nation. Roy's ambition transcended mere financial gain. He envisioned a conglomerate that would touch every aspect of Indian life. He diversified Sahara's portfolio, venturing into media, real estate, aviation, and even sports. His companies sponsored the Indian cricket team, further solidifying Sahara's presence in the national consciousness. Roy's leadership was built on a cult of personality. He fostered an aura of mystique, often appearing in public adorned with flamboyant attire and surrounded by an entourage of loyal followers. His speeches, peppered with patriotic fervor and promises of prosperity, resonated with a population yearning for economic empowerment. At its zenith, the Sahara-India para-war was a sprawling empire, boasting over 1.2 million workers and millions of investors. Roy's companies were household names, their logos emblazoned on billboards across the country. Sahara's reach extended from the bustling metropolises to the remote villages, offering financial products tailored to every stratum of society. Roy's business model was built on trust. He cultivated an image of Sahara as a benevolent patriarch, safeguarding the hard-earned savings of the common man. His companies offered investment schemes with seemingly guaranteed high returns, attracting a vast clientele of small-time investors, particularly in rural areas. However, beneath the veneer of success, cracks began to appear. The opacity of Sahara's financial dealings raised eyebrows among financial experts. Critics questioned the sustainability of the high returns promised to investors, suspecting that the money was being shuffled within the conglomerate rather than generating genuine profits. Despite the growing skepticism, Roy remained unfazed. He continued to expand his empire, investing heavily in high-profile ventures, including the purchase of iconic hotels like the Plaza in New York and Grosvenor House in London. These extravagant acquisitions fueled speculation about the source of Sahara's wealth and the legitimacy of its operations. The year 2010 marked a turning point in Subrata Roy's saga. The Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, launched an investigation into Sahara's fundraising activities, suspecting violations of regulatory norms. This marked the beginning of a protracted legal battle that would eventually unravel Roy's empire. SEBI's scrutiny revealed that two of Sahara's companies had illegally raised over 24,000 crores from millions of investors through optionally fully convertible debentures. The regulator alleged that these debentures were issued without proper authorization and that the money was being used to fund other Sahara ventures, creating a complex web of interlinked transactions. Roy vehemently denied any wrongdoing, claiming that Sahara was being unfairly targeted. He launched a media campaign to defend his companies and rally public support. He maintained that the funds raised were voluntary contributions from loyal Sahara workers and investors, and not a public issue requiring regulatory clearance. However, the court sided with SEBI, ordering Sahara to refund the money raised through the disputed debentures. As the legal battle intensified, the cracks in Sahara's facade became increasingly apparent. The group's financial health came under intense scrutiny, revealing a precarious situation with assets significantly overvalued and liabilities mounting. Section 4. The Fall from Grace, a Reckoning. The Supreme Court's verdict in 2014 delivered a crushing blow to Subrata Roy and the Sahara Empire. The court upheld SEBI's findings and ordered Roy to pay back the investors with interest. The staggering sum, estimated to be over 36,000 crores, sent shockwaves through the nation. Roy's attempts to comply with the court's order proved futile. He claimed that Sahara had already repaid most of the investors, providing a list of names that was later found to be largely fabricated. His failure to furnish credible evidence and his repeated attempts to stall the repayment process further eroded public trust and drew the ire of the judiciary. In a dramatic turn of events, the Supreme Court ordered Roy's arrest in 2014 for contempt of court. He was imprisoned in Delhi's Tihar jail, a stark contrast to the opulent lifestyle he once led. The once revered business tycoon, accustomed to the deference of millions, was now a prisoner of his own making. Roy's imprisonment sent a clear message that even the most powerful and influential were not above the law. It shattered the carefully crafted image of Sahara as a benevolent entity and exposed the fragility of an empire built on questionable financial practices. Section 5. Ripple Effects. The human cost of the scandal. The downfall of Subrata Roy and the Sahara Empire had far-reaching consequences, extending beyond the confines of corporate boardrooms and courtrooms. The financial scandal inflicted significant hardship on millions of small-time investors who had entrusted their savings to Sahara, lured by the promise of high returns. Many of these investors were ordinary people, often from rural areas with limited financial literacy. They had pinned their hopes on Sahara's investment schemes, viewing them as a safe and lucrative avenue to secure their future. The collapse of these schemes shattered their dreams, leaving them financially devastated and disillusioned. The scandal also had a ripple effect on Sahara's vast workforce. As the group's financial troubles mounted, thousands of employees lost their jobs, adding to the human cost of the crisis. The once proud Sahara employees who had basked in the reflected glory of their leader now faced an uncertain future. The Sahara Saga serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of corporate greed and financial misconduct. It highlighted the vulnerability of ordinary investors in the face of complex financial schemes and the urgent need for stronger regulatory mechanisms to protect their interests. Section 6. Lessons Learned. A Cautionary Tale. Subrata Roy's story is a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the perils of unchecked ambition and the fragility of empires built on shaky foundations. It holds valuable lessons for entrepreneurs, investors, and regulators alike. Roy's meteoric rise and subsequent downfall highlight the importance of transparency and ethical conduct in business. His opaque financial dealings, though successful in the short term, ultimately led to his undoing. The saga underscores the need for greater financial literacy among investors, empowering them to make informed decisions and avoid falling prey to dubious schemes. The Sahara scandal also exposed the shortcomings of India's regulatory framework. It revealed loopholes that allowed companies like Sahara to operate with impunity, raising vast sums of money from the public without adequate scrutiny. The episode served as a wake-up call for regulators, prompting them to strengthen oversight and enforce stricter norms to prevent similar occurrences in the future. The story of Subrata Roy is a complex tapestry woven with threads of ambition, charisma, greed, and ultimately, downfall. It serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us that even the most dazzling empires can crumble under the weight of their own transgressions.